Most leaders think accountability is about confrontation. Raise your voice, drop the hammer, maybe even embarrass them in front of the team. But here's the truth, that accountability is not about volume, it's about clarity. I watched a GM absolutely light up his service manager in front of the entire store. Guess what changed? Nothing. The manager, he lost all respect for him. The team, their performance didn't get any better. But everybody learned this lesson, that leadership equals volatility. And if your accountability is just explosion, or even worse, it's silence, then you've lost the war before it ever even starts. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership Fire, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And today, we're going to dive into what I call the accountability conversation blueprint, and it might just be the missing piece that you've been looking for. Here's the brutal truth. So many of us are caught in that tell, sell, yell spin cycle. That's not leadership. That's emotional whiplash. Because accountability is not confrontation. Accountability is clarity plus follow through. Let that sink in. Accountability is not confrontation. It's clarity plus follow through. And if you can't master this, then leadership stagnation will eat you alive. Come with me for a minute. Here's what stagnation looks like when accountability dies. You start bribing with spiffs instead of building standards. You repeat yourself 3, 4, 5 times until even you stop believing in your own words. And your A players, they start to disengage because they know you're not going to hold the line. And it's not just your store, it's the avoidance that shows up at home too. The kid who doesn't believe his dad's threats because he knows he's never going to follow through. Or the spouse that hears, I'll change, but you never do. You see, the enemy isn't your team. The enemy is the doubt that you've instilled by your own inconsistency. So here's the framework, the 4C accountability blueprint. It's simple, it's repeatable, and it will change how your people respond to you. Step 1 is clear standards. Don't start with emotion, start with clarity. Here's the standard, here's what we agreed to. Step 2, confirm understanding. Don't assume they understand. Ask, tell me what you heard as the standard. Tell me what you heard that we agreed to. Now, what's your plan to execute? Step 3, consequences outlined. Accountability without consequence is just suggestion. So say it directly. If this happens, this is the consequence. If this doesn't happen, this is the other consequence. Non-negotiable, calm, direct. Step 4 is calendar the follow-up. This is the step that so many people miss, that accountability is not, it is never one and done. You want to schedule the follow-up meeting, the accountability continuance, before you leave the table. So once you finish the conversation, the last step is, great, so let's meet Friday at 3 o'clock, and I want you to report back on what you've done and bring me up to speed and update me on where you're at. That's it. 4 steps, no hope, no yelling, just execution. And here's just some of the ROI that you're going to get. You nail this, and your gross profits start to go up because your standards stick. You nail this, and you stop having to repeat yourself 5, 6, 10 times a week, and you get back a half an hour of your time. You nail this, and it crosses over into your home life. And all of a sudden at home, everybody knows when you say something, you mean something. That's one heck of an ROI. So let's cross the insight to action bridge. All I want you to do is pick one conversation that you've been avoiding, one team member, and have the 4C conversation accountability blueprint with them. Who's on that team? I want you to think of them right now. That person that you know you believe in. You know they have talent. You know they have ability. They just can't quite get the standards. They can't quite get the discipline. But man, if you could get them in, it would unleash them. That's the person. And I want you to schedule a 4C conversation with them. Use this accountability conversation blueprint in the next 24 hours. Not at the end of the week, not at the end of the month, in the next 24 hours. And go out and run this. Print it out if you need to. Write it out if you want to. You can write out your answers to each of those. Write down the questions as I gave them to you. But please go out and execute a 4C conversation with someone you know can do better, but's only being held back because they can't quite hold the standard and they can't quite execute consistently because they lack the discipline. And change their life. Be a leader. So please, I invite you, don't script this. Don't wait until you feel like it, Dive in. Just have this conversation in the next 24 hours. And I'll give you a tip. Here's an opening line you can use to get started. Begin with this line: I want you to succeed. And that means I need to hold both of us accountable to the standards that we set, and then move on from there. That's not confrontation, that's leadership. And that's who you are: an elite operator, an elite leader. So here's the power question for today: where are you repeating yourself? And who needs a 4C conversation before the end of this week? Go ahead and jot that down if you can think of it. If you got a chance, write it down right now. War room leaders, elite operators, they don't outsource standards to moods, excuses, or bribes. They hold the line with clarity, with calm, and with conviction. This is how you kill leadership stagnation: one conversation and one leader who refuses to drift at a time. So today, please go out. Don't be silent. Use the 4C model. Don't repeat yourself, and create some leadership fire. And I will see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.